I hope my students take away a sense of independence, whether it is going to the restroom, whether it is washing their hands by themselves, because many of them come without words or without being able to speak. If I can give them opportunities to gain independence, if I can lay the foundation for their learning throughout school, and if I can give them an opportunity to enjoy learning, to set them up for success as they move forward through the grade levels. Using music and movement as an approach to learning really gets the students engaged. It gets them moving. They enjoy singing and dancing, especially when they see me up there moving and grooving. I am like, they want to join me. So I try to encourage them by modeling what it looks like and sounds like to dance along or follow along to a learning song or something like that. So when I see my students and parents in public and I get those big smiles and they run up to me to give me a hug, that's when I know I'm making an impact on their lives. I hope my students remember me as a safe place and a happy place. I hope that when they see me later on, or even if they have a recollection of me in their memory, that they smile.
My teaching style is unique because I have so much fun. I like to play and I love to dance and I love to laugh. So I bring that to the students. What inspires me to teach every day is the children, because they are 3 and they are adorable and precious and lovable. So I want to go to school every day to meet them and hug on them. And it's like teaching my grandchildren. So I go to school every day and just wait for my babies to come. And I love it. Everyone needs to know how important early intervention is, that the sooner we work with students with special needs, the faster they're gonna achieve where they need to be. If a child speaks their first word in the classroom, first of all, me and my para, we just stop in our tracks and we look at each other like, ah, did you hear that? So we both about to cry, and it's just the most amazing feeling. I'm their very first teacher. I'm the person they come to first, so I get to plant the little seed, and then all the other teachers get to water it and let them grow. But I hope they always remember me. I'm the first one. I love them first, and just how much I love them and how special they were to me.
What makes my teaching style unique is that I'm not afraid to have a good time. We're gonna get loud, we're gonna have fun in the classroom, whatever it takes for them to learn. And some kids, it's a hard talk. Some kids, it's just, hey, let's get the work done. We track their progress daily, just wanna make sure that we know who's working, who's not, who needs the little love, who needs that smiling face. So every day is a different day in there. It's an adventure. A moment I saw impact, my impact on a student, was probably within my first couple of years in performance-based. You know, when I was in school, it was not, will you graduate? It was, when are you gonna graduate? Some of these kids that we have in our program, it's if they're gonna graduate. And some of them might be the first one to graduate in their family. So when they do pass their leaps and they pass their test and they graduate, it's a big momentum, it's a big moment in their life. So their joy, they call their moms are all excited, and you just feel like, hey, I had something to do with that because I might have pushed this kid. And then they come back and they thank you. They see you and they thank you. Hey, Coach, thanks for being hard on me, because I needed that.
Oh my gosh, I was so shocked. Ethel Scheffner is the best school I've ever been at. So the last thing you're thinking about is someone suddenly deciding to name you as the Teacher of the Year. But I try to approach things from a consistent standpoint so that people feel motivated, that it's someplace they want to go every day. But I think about the success that my students are having. The 7 students that I work with, all 7 of them got principal's list, honor roll, or an award for bringing up their grades. So the success that they're experiencing, seeing the parents coming up to share with me that their child has never gotten an award before. So it struck me for a second there after I spoke with her, because I said, not only is it making a difference in this child's life for him to experience success, it's made a difference for his whole family now because of the positivity that we have going on in my classroom. And again, it's a reminder that, what you're doing is important. It's making a difference in the life of these children that you work with. It's making a difference with their families, and it's going to make a difference in the community, because these families and these children are part of our community. And again, it's touching and it's gratifying.
I hope that my students remember how much I care and love them. I hope that they remember the skills that I taught them and how those skills can really be a tool in their toolbox no matter what path they take in life. I really want them to take away that I cared about them. I have found in this job that not everyone grew up the same way I did. I hope that when they come to my classroom, they know that I care about them, that they are supported, and if there is something that they need, that they can always come to me. The people that came up to me and said, "You deserve this, you're awesome," I respect them so much, and for them to take the time to not only vote for me, but to say that and say how much I deserve it, it made me feel really good. Dr. DeLotte, who has been one of my assistant principals and now she's my interim principal, she's the main reason why I applied this year, because I saw her wanting to be successful and reach for those higher goals, and I was like, you know what, if Dr. D can do it, I can do it. And so I wanted to kind of follow in her footsteps, because she's a huge mentor of mine.
I've been teaching for a while now, so I've had lots of different types of students in my classroom, but watching them learn and grow every day inspires me to come back again and again and again, because the excitement in their eyes when they learn something new makes me just as excited. I try to put a little bit of magic in my everyday. So if it's a special season like Christmas or Mardi Gras, they are learning the jingles along the way as they're going to the carpet, coming to the carpet, and they're even asking for those things. So I hope they leave with me more confident, more resilient, willing to take risk, and just leave with the love of learning. We teach them so much in first grade, from how to be, tiny, productive little humans, more than just math and reading. We teach them how to be kind, how to be responsible, how to think about others' feelings. So when they do things on their own, just because they've grown as a little person, those are the moments that are like, okay, I'm doing something right. They are little people pleasers, but at the end I want them to know, like, you did a good job because you did the hard work.
I think the thing that inspires me most to teach every day is the students. I think that knowing that they have dreams, that they have fears, that they have things that they are struggling with right there in that moment, and the ability to recognize those as a teacher is definitely the most important strategy that I can have. The ability and the confidence that they have in themselves is going to make all the difference, and it's those lessons in believing in themselves, in knowing that they are capable of achieving whatever they are willing to work hard for. I hope that they remember me as someone who taught them the value of empathy, the value of perseverance. I hope that they remember me as somebody who cared about them, who wanted what was best for them, and who gave them the tools that they are going to need in the future to be a success in whatever field, whatever they decide to do with their lives.
I think my faith really impacts the way that I teach my students. And so I really believe that each one of them has dignity and they're worthy of respect and they're worthy of receiving a great education. With my gifts and my abilities, I get to meet the different needs that they have. And so some students, they're really loud and outgoing, and then other students, they need the encouragement to speak up, and they need to learn how to be assertive. And it's just a fun way to get to know them, have compassion, but then also just push them on to be who they were created to be. I hope they learn about mercy and compassion and forgiveness, that when we make mistakes, we can own them, we can apologize for them, and we can strive to do better. And of course, I want my students to know how to read and to be good readers and to be confident in their ability to read and to solve math problems. I want them to have confidence in their intrinsic abilities as what makes them them, and have confidence in that, but then also confidence in their academic abilities as well. And so it's all about identifying where the students are, giving them material that is accessible to them that they can be successful with, and then continuing to push them on to greater and greater levels of achievement.
Well, what guides my approach to teaching is just the way that I feel about the children. I just feel that almost like I had a calling to do what I do, especially in this program that I'm in now, the literacy interventionist. To me, the most important thing is the relationship that I have with my students. I try first to build that relationship with them. I feel like this is what I was meant to do. I have a very important job. I have to get them the help they need, build that foundation maybe that they missed to get them to where they can, perform in a classroom on level or maybe even above level. They come to me with very low self-confidence. They just don't have high self-esteem, but I just hope that they see, with just a little extra work, they can really do whatever they want. They can read, they can write, they can be good at it. And often they leave my class loving to read. They just needed somebody to take the time to believe in them. I truly, truly want to just help each and every child that I can help. I hope my students just remember how much I cared about them and how important they are and how special they are, and that they really can do whatever they want to do.
To be RJVL's Teacher of the Year is like a dream come true, and to represent all the amazing teachers and students and staff there, I couldn't have asked for anything better. I believe that getting that whole brain engaged is what makes learning fun. And so in my room, we're moving, we're talking, and we're always around and about. First, I definitely think my own personal children kind of gave me the foundation. I was blessed with 3 very unique children, and so they inspire me to be the best teacher I can for every student. What I want my students to take away from my class is one of where mistakes are okay, and that we're learning, and that there's nothing tomorrow can't solve. So we learn from our mistakes and we move on, and that they're just each loved tremendously, and that we're going to work through it together. I'm blown away by the things that they do, and my brain sometimes is like, wow, I would have never thought of that. So I think it's just kind of leaning into the students more or less for innovative and creative ideas to see what they are capable of doing. So I hope my students remember me in the future, that I had high expectations for them, but I also loved them tremendously, and that it was a fun and safe environment to make mistakes and to learn and have fun along the way.
For me, being an art teacher is the best job in the school. Art is, in my opinion, an underrated subject. We're dealing with problem solving constantly, and we have to think of creative ways to find a solution to our problems. I get to see their progression throughout the year, and it's a lot easier to show like an artwork from the beginning of the year to the end of the year and see that progress. So what I hope students take away from my class is being creative and being able to use creativity in other aspects of their life. I know that it's unrealistic to believe that every single one of my students is going to be an artist or in an art field, but you can be creative in different fields, and I just want to be able to use their creativity and think about like being able to think outside the box and use their art knowledge and skills in other aspects of their life. The way I hope my students remember me is I hope they just remember me as a teacher that loved them, that knew them well, and that was a person that they could go and talk to if they needed a listening ear, that they had fun in my classroom. Art can be used for engineering purposes, science. You can use math to create art. It can be used in a lot of aspects of life.
I'm really proud to be part of the curation of my students' futures and helping them prepare for the industry. It's really great to be hands-on with them in their learning process and give them the tools that they will actually be able to use in the industry as well. Whether it's working a camera, whether it's being on camera, it really is interesting to see them take hold of their education and the things that we practice here. Video projects, and I am inspired by that to keep my passion going for this class. And what we do outside of class, like graduation and sporting events, we live stream all of those things, and thousands of people end up watching it. It is a very interesting way to bring the community together while also being able to continue doing the things that we love doing in class. I really do care about all of my students, every single one of them, and I want them to know that I am someone who is here to support them and help guide them to whatever they want to do in the future. I really want them to feel loved in my class and to go away knowing that, someone cares about them and has so much optimism and hope for them for their future.
Being in a gifted classroom, I promote a lot of creativity, thinking outside the box, making them think about something in a different way, I think is really important. I am so inspired by my mom. My mom has been teaching for 40 years, and whenever I feel tired, I think about all the lives my mom has changed, and that motivates me to move forward. But I'm also motivated by my past self and what I needed when I was in middle school, and that motivates me to be better for those kids because I want to be the teacher that I needed when I was in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And I used to do after-school tutoring, and I would do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this isn't about anything that I taught this kid. And I was like, dude, you only come one day because the other day is the exact same thing. And he said, I know, but I like being here more than I like being at home. But you to be that safe place for a kid is so important. I've been teaching for 10 years now, so they're my Facebook friends now. I've watched them get married. I've watched them have kids. And every single time, I don't think kids realize that their teacher in the background's like this, so excited for them, just watching them grow. And I'm like, you have no idea just how proud I am of you for going to trade school, or you have this internship or whatever. So I just hope that they always remember that I'm proud of them for all they're doing.
I'm a product of this parish. I moved here and I started in 3rd grade at Mimosa, and I was surrounded by so many educators that I knew I wanted to be just like them. I remember the impact that they had on me, and I wanted that. I wanted to be able to do that for others. And the data shows that if they're not reading by a certain time, if they're behind, the gaps just keep getting wider and wider. And this position and the intervention world allows us to meet kids where they are. It means the difference in graduating high school and moving on to college and establishing that love of reading. If I could be a little tiny small part of that, that's all I wanted. As an interventionist, it's trying to find the best ways to support our kids in each individual way. I hope my students remember how much I cared, and I hope they remember a place that is comfortable and a classroom that made them feel loved and cared for and happy. I hope they remember that I tried my best and I tried to give them everything that I could for them. A lot of times these students that I teach don't feel successful, so it's bringing those little successes and being able to make those connections to the classroom.
How does it feel to be J.B. Martin's Teacher of the Year? It means a lot. It means to represent our school, to be voted on by our peers and our administration. They see me as a valued person in our school. J.B. Martin has been my home for the last 5 years, and I don't think that I would want to be anywhere else. It's not an everyday thing where we see impacts on students. However, you know when you made that impact. You see that light bulb go off or that aha moment, and it's really warms your soul a little bit because you finally got through to that student. It might be the most challenging student, it might be the highest student, but you always see those little things happening throughout the day. Every day we show up, we are always there trying to push the students and motivate the students, and you might not see the impact right then and there, but you eventually do see it in the long run. I hope that my students remember me in the future as being fun, because we like to have fun in math, and I hope that they remember that I took the time to get to know them and care about them, and it wasn't always about the academics. It's also about knowing them outside of that and building those relationships. So I hope that they take away that and remember that, Ms. Dozat was always there for me. Just listening to them and being an open ear, I just hope that they really take that back and remember, like, she loved me.
What inspires me to teach every day is the students. Art's about, not just drawing and painting. It's finding that medium that makes you happy and what you feel you're connected to, where you can express who you are. And art's just our end product, but most of what we do is learning to just be good humans and being able to express ourselves and accept ourselves for who we are. And they can move on in life and be okay with whatever challenges that happen. My hope for sending these kids out in the world is to take the things we've learned in class and to self-reflect and to be able to try new things and maybe not be successful and refine things and keep growing from that. I guess I want my students to maybe not remember me, but the feeling of being loved and being in a place that was trusting of, and they were able to share their real selves. Being able to just do that every day, and after 30 years say, I still enjoy it and love it and get so much out of it, it's rewarding. It's really a blessing to get to do this every day.